Our top story for this half hour: Palestinians in the Gaza Strip wake up to another day of death and destruction as the Israeli military pounds the coastal enclave. The military has carried out several attacks targeting residential areas as well as a mosque in Gaza City. Several people have been injured in the strikes. Earlier, at least 6 Palestinians from the same family died and several others were wounded in an Israeli airstrike. Over 80 people have lost their lives since Israel resumed bombings on Tuesday. The overall death toll from the onslaught now stands at 2,097. And some 10,500 Palestinians have been injured since Israel started the offensive on July the 8th. The vast majority of casualties have been civilians, including many women and children. Our correspondent Ashraf Shannon joins us now from the Gaza Strip to bring us up to speed on the alarming humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip as a result of the ongoing Israeli assaults.
Yes, but at least 6 people were killed since midnight today as a result of continued Israeli airstrikes and tank shelling, and also firing of shells from Israeli Navy within the Mediterranean towards areas north of Gaza City and also throughout the Gaza Strip. At least 60 people were injured since last night. Many of them are children and women. The humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip is very dire, especially with the continued lack of medicine, hospital supplies, hospital disposables, and surgical supplies. I'm standing right now at Shifa Hospital. It's the Gaza Strip's central hospital. It's the only hospital that has intensive care units. At certain times, you could be faced with 2-3 dozen injuries at the same time coming in into this hospital. The influx of the injuries that takes place oftentimes throughout the day and throughout the night is overwhelming for the medical staff, and also overwhelming to deal with, especially with not enough hospital beds to deal with the situation. The overall humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip is extremely bad. We have nearly 250,000 people are considered internally displaced persons, or IDPs. They're living in UN schools and government schools, and hundreds of them also live within the Shifa hospital itself. The people are camping behind this building for more than 2 weeks now. The living conditions are extremely bad. The hospital is a hospital. It cannot cater to people who seek refuge. They try to help the people as much as they can here. The same thing with UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees. Their job is to take care of Palestinian refugees as with the refugee problem that started upon the creation of the Israeli regime. But now they have also to deal with a huge number of people who are not refugees, and they're only using the resources that were supposed to be taking care of refugees, and now they're tapping into the UNRWA resources, and UNRWA is appealing to the international community to send in aid, funds, and food and medicine to these people as well. And also we have another situation with the lack of electricity. Gaza's sole power generating plant was bombed by the Israeli Air Force during the middle of this so-called Operation Protective Edge. Now the only electricity that comes to the Gaza Strip is from an Israeli power line, and Israel controls that. With a flick of a button, they can turn off the electricity throughout the Gaza Strip. People in Gaza get 6 hours of electricity, and they get 12 hours of power outage. This is a situation they have to deal with. Not only there is lack of electricity, there's also lack of fuel, because people are trying to get fuel for their backup generators, and it's just a mess. The situation is really bad and needs international intervention to end the suffering of nearly 1.8 million people living in the Gaza Strip. Out of the 1.8 million people who live here, nearly 60% are children under the age of 18. And this is why we have at least 500 children were killed during this Israeli war on Gaza, and thousands more were injured.
Thank you very much, Ashraf. Ashraf Shannon, our correspondent, speaking to us from Gaza.